Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me this evening. I will be bringing you very disturbing news out of the state of South Carolina pertaining to a former NFL football player and the deaths of a doctor and his family. And whatever the motive is, Lord knows I have no earthly idea. But I will be bringing you that said information this evening, and thanks for joining me. Oh, hello, Brandy. How you doing, baby? Thank you all so much for joining me. Hello, Ruby Ray. Hello, Wesley. Hi, honey. Hello, Dorothy. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Great. So good to see you, Brandy. Hi, Air Force One. Hi, honey. Thank you so much. Got 17 viewing. Hi, Marcella. How are you? Lissa, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Hello, dear. Thank you so much. Hope everybody is great this Thursday. One more day, the week will be over, and we will be going into the weekend. Hope you all have some great plans. Please be safe. If nothing else, just be safe. The world is wicked right now, and it's always been wicked, but people are very disturbed right now and very bitter, very angry, mental issues, and they don't mind taking their problems out on you. Got 19 viewing. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for joining. I'd like to say this to some of you in the chat who may not be familiar with the Camille McKinney case. Cupcake was the child's nickname. I will be revisiting that case. It has yet to go to trial. It is a case that took off in October of 2019 when a small African-American baby girl, Tyler, went missing in Birmingham, Alabama. And I've got someone that I want to talk to, get their opinion on the case. He's a writer, and I will try to have him on as my guest, hopefully tomorrow. If all goes well, I can go live tomorrow evening, and we can revisit the case, see if there's anything that we've missed, assumed, jumped the gun on, speculated. What is the truth? What ain't the truth? Hype, gossip, rhetoric. We're going to try to talk about that soon. I don't want to give a date just yet until I make sure the person can come on and give their commentary. But I would like to revisit the case of Camille McKinney out of Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you all for joining me. Hello, Jean. How are you, sweetheart? Yes, give the queen thumbs up. Okay, Chris. Thank you, honey. Lord have mercy. I'll have to dig that up while I bring this other information. Lord Jesus. Well, the scripture said man would turn against man, brother for brother. Guess that's where we are. 23 viewing. I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Coverage continues right now with WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane. Also in Rock Hill, you have been covering this story since this morning. And Richard, you spoke exclusively with the suspect.
Hold on one second, because I don't like the volume on that. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up something else here. Have a better volume. 1 second. Okay, you guys. This is News Center, Maine at 11.
Coverage continues right now with WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane. Also in Rock Hill, you have been covering this story since this morning. And Richard, you spoke exclusively with the suspect's father just a little bit.
Oh, Lordy. Here we go. It's phone. Very odd phone I have here. It just won't let me get the... Can't hold it a certain way. It'll stop.
What did he tell you?
Yeah, he was, as you can understand, Carolyn, devastated by the news, or actually what unfolded in the house right behind me. I'll step out of the way, let Kevin shoot in a little bit. You can see the house. Police officers surrounded that house late last night after they determined that Adams was inside the house. They got his mother and father to come outside, and then Adams barricaded himself inside the house and then took his life. Of course, devastating and tragic news for everyone in this community who knows the family, the Adams family, as well as the Leslie family, which lives just less than a mile away from where we're standing right now. Now, as far as his father said, one of the proudest days was when his son was drafted into the NFL. He played at Rock Hill High School. One of the most painful was last night, of course. Here's what he had to say.
He's a good kid. He was a good kid, and I think the football messed him up. I don't think he ever did anybody any harm.
And he just could not understand what happened. As for what he thinks might have been the cause or this set this all off, we didn't discuss that, but we did discuss some other things. We have more coming up in 30 minutes about what he actually says, and he has a message for the Leslie family, a family that he says he's known for years as well. Carolyn?
So Richard, any inclination why this happened? Do we know if they knew each other before this?
Yeah, we can tell you that both the Adams family as well as Adams knew the Leslie family and Dr. Leslie, and we can say that also everyone in this community knew everyone else. There still is no answer as to why it happened. That's something that police are continuing to investigate. We can tell you that we spoke to a neighbor who said that for a while, Phillip Adams was always someone who would speak and laugh and sway at people. And over the last few weeks, he had not been doing that, kind of sullen and just keeping more to himself. But then again, his father also said he was quiet and kept to himself as well. He died right behind me here at his own house. He had just moved back with his family just a short while ago from Fort Mill, his father says. And his father's still trying to make sense of this all, as everyone else in this community is as well.
Gosh, Richard, thank you so much. And we're going to continue to follow this case throughout the rest of the day. Coming up at 2, as Richard mentioned, we are going to hear directly from the police. So you can watch that right here on WCNC Charlotte, or you can stream it live on our mobile app and follow along there for the latest updates wherever you are. Our app is free to download.
Okay. This is some very disturbing news. Very, very disturbing news. Thank you all for joining me. We've got 34 viewing. We've got some more information I want to bring you. If I can find what I'm looking for. Just give me 1 second, please. Thanks for joining me. Let's pray for all these family members. Oh, Lord have mercy. Pray for the shooter's family. I don't know if he has children or not. Pray for the victims perished. I don't know what took place, who said what, or who didn't do what. Because as they say, they don't even know why all this transpired. Well, I'm going to bring you some stats from GVA, Gun Violence Archive. And these are the said dates since April 8th, documenting back to January 1st of 2021 of all the cities that have had a mass shooting. And it reads as follows. April 8th, Texas. April 7th, South Carolina. April 7th, Wisconsin. April 6th, District of Columbia. April 6th, Michigan. April 5th, Illinois. April 5th, Maryland. April 4th, Louisiana. April 4th, Alabama. April 4th, Texas. April 3rd, North Carolina. April 3rd, Alabama. April 3rd, Texas. April 3rd, Florida. March 31st, California. March 31st, District of Columbia. March 28th, Ohio. March 28th, Illinois. March 28th, Maryland. March 28th, Texas. March 27th, Illinois. March 27th, Mississippi. March 27th, Illinois. March 26th, Virginia. March 26th, Illinois. Wait 1 second. I'm going to have to go back. I kind of moved a little too fast there. Sorry about that. Wait 1 second, you guys. Got so many pages. Oh, Lordy. I think, where did I stop? I think I better go back. Hold on 1 second. I got so many pages. Okay. All righty. I stopped at March 26th, which was Illinois. March 26th, Virginia, Norfolk. March 26th, Memphis, Tennessee. March 26th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. March 23rd, Alice, Alabama. March 22nd, Boulder, Colorado. March 22nd, Detroit, Michigan. March 20th, Houston, Texas. March 20th, Dallas, Texas. March 20th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. March 18th, Gresham, Oregon. March 18th, New Orleans, Louisiana. March 17th, Stockton, California. March 16th, Ackworth, Georgia. March 16th, Phoenix, Arizona. March 15th, Indianapolis, Indiana. March 14th, Tampa, Florida. March 14th, Chicago, Illinois. March 14th, Chicago, Illinois. March 13th, Brooklyn, New York. March 13th, Orlando, Florida. March 13th, Indianapolis, Indiana. March 13th, Richmond, Virginia. March 12th, Greensboro, North Carolina. March 12th, Austin, Texas. March 11th, Owingi, New Mexico. Next page. March 11th, Pennsylvania. March 10th, Texas. March 8th, Florida. March 7th, Mississippi. March 6th, California. March 6th, North Carolina. March 5th, California. March 4th, District of Columbia. March 3rd, Pennsylvania. February 28th, Ohio. February 28th, Indiana. February 28th, Delaware. February 28th, South Carolina. February 28th again, Louisiana. February 28th again, Texas. February 27th, Mississippi. February 27th, Mississippi. February 26th, Texas. February 26th, Louisiana. February 26th, California. February 21st, Missouri. February 21st, North Carolina. February 20th, Pennsylvania. February 20th, Colorado. February 20th, Illinois. Lord have mercy. Next page. February 20th, Louisiana. Metairie. February 18th, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. February 17th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. February 16th, St. Petersburg, Florida. February 13th, San Francisco, California. February 13th, Indianapolis, Indiana. February 13th, Oakland, California. February 13th, Cary, North Carolina. February 11th, Columbus, Georgia. February 10th, Atlanta, Georgia. February 9th, Houston, Texas. February 9th, Buffalo, Minnesota. February 6th, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. February 6th, Thibodeau, Louisiana. Louisiana. February 6th, Bloomingdale, Illinois. February 6th, Tacoma, Washington, February 5th, Moulton, Pennsylvania, February 5th, Benoit, Mississippi, February 4th, High Point, North Carolina, February 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, February 3rd, Oak Creek, Colorado, February 2nd, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Sunrise, February 2nd, Muskogee, Oklahoma, story I covered, February 1st, Rochester, New York, January 31st, Chicago, Illinois. Next page. January 30th, New York. January 29th, Pennsylvania. January 28th, Michigan. January 27th, California. January 25th, District of Columbia. January 24th, Indiana. January 24th, Nevada. January 22nd, Kentucky. January 21st, California. January 18th, Pennsylvania. January 17th, Arizona. January 17th, Arizona. January 16th, Illinois. January 15th, Pennsylvania. January 11th, Florida. January 9th, Illinois. January 9th. Sorry about that. January 9th, Texas and Illinois. January 7th, District of Columbia. January 6th, Texas. January 6th, Virginia. January 4th, Louisiana. January 4th, Florida. January 4th, Florida. January 3rd, Oregon. January 3rd, Texas. Next page. Lord, give me strength. January 3rd, Miami, Florida. January 3rd, Shreveport, Louisiana. January 3rd, Santa Barbara, California. January 3rd, Miami, Florida. First of the new year, January, Fort Smith, Arkansas. Amarillo, Texas. Sioux City, Iowa. And Galesburg, Illinois. These are all the latest incidents of mass shootings in the United States of America since January 1st, 2021. If you need verification for these said cities as of date, the 8th of this month, April, GVA, Gun Violence Archive, is the source. And it gives you an incident ID number, the address of the shooting, how many people were killed, how many people were injured, and the operations. View incident, view source. GVA is the source of information. And now we'll bring you the commentary pertaining to the storyline of this former football player who gunned down this doctor. Lord, I just have no idea why. And when I get the said information, I will bring you an update to the storyline. I just played you a video of the father speaking out about his son. And I'm going to read you that first source. It's AP. And that was the one where the father was speaking in the video if you need information on that. Former Patriots player Phillip Adams killed 5 people than himself in South Carolina. The Associated Press reports former NFL player Phillip Adams killed 5 people, including a prominent doctor in South Carolina, than himself early Thursday. The gunman who killed 5 people, including a prominent doctor in South Carolina, was former NFL player Phillip Adams, who killed himself early Thursday, according to a source who was briefed on investigation. The source, who spoke on condition of anonymity because he wasn't authorized to speak publicly, said Adams' parents lived near the doctor's home in Rock Hill and that he had been treated by the doctor. The source said Adams killed himself after midnight with a .45 caliber weapon. Officers said they had searched for hours before finding the suspect in a nearby home. Adams, 33, played in 78 NFL games over 5 seasons for 6 teams. A safety and special teams player from South Carolina State, he joined the 49ers in 2010 as a 7th-round draft pick. Rarely a starter, Adams also was with New England, Seattle, Atlanta, Oakland, and the New York Jets, finishing his career with the Falcons in 2015. As a rookie late in the 2010 season, Adams suffered a severe ankle injury that required surgery that included several screws being inserted into the leg. He never played for the 49ers again, getting released just before the 2011 season began and signing with New England. Only in 2013 with the Raiders was he on a roster for a full season. Dr. Robert Leslie, 70, and his wife, Barbara Leslie, 69, were pronounced dead at the scene along with grandchildren Ada Leslie, 9, and Noah Leslie 5, the York County Coroner's Office said. A man who had been working at the home, James Lewis, 38, from Gaston, was found shot to death outside, and a sixth person was hospitalized with serious gunshot wounds. York County Sheriff's Office's spokesperson Trent Ferris said. Ferris said early Thursday that deputies were called around 4:45 p.m. Wednesday to the Leslie's home and spent hours searching for the suspect before finding him in a nearby home. We have found the person we believe is responsible, and we are with him at this time, and that's all I can say about the suspect, Ferris said, adding that they had no reason to believe anyone. Excuse me, hold on 1 minute. Jumped off there for a second. Else was involved. We currently, I don't know why. Mercy. Hold on, you guys. This story just doesn't want to stay. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. For some reason this article don't want to stay still. They don't believe anybody else was involved. We are currently at his house and we are serving a search warrant. Later Thursday, a few sheriff's deputies were posted near the Leslie home, which is far beyond an arched stone gate up a long paved driveway and not visible from the road. The Adams home, roughly a mile down the road, is a modest one-story brick house with several cars in the driveway. Leslie had worked for decades as an emergency room doctor in Rock Hill, board certified in both emergency medicine and occupational medicine, and serving as emergency department medical director for nearly 15 years at Rock Hill General Hospital, according to his website. He founded 2 urgent care centers in the area and wrote a weekly medical column for the Charlotte Observer. He also wrote a book, Angels in the ER, collecting what he termed inspiring true stories from his time in the emergency department. I know without a doubt that life is fragile, Leslie wrote, according to an excerpt. I have come to understand that humility may be the greatest virtue. Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me. This, I don't know what's going on with these stories. Every time I try to read them, don't want to act right. Sorry about that. Jumps off the page. Oh, mercy. This is very strange. Okay. I've come to understand that humility may be the greatest virtue, and I'm convinced we need to take the time to say things we deeply care about. Ferris said Leslie was very well known in the Rock Hill community. Dr. Leslie was my doctor growing up, Ferris said. Dr. Leslie has been one of those people that everyone knows. He started Riverview Medical Center in Rock Hill, and it's been a staple in Rock Hill for years. A biography page said he and his wife raised 4 children, that Leslie received his degree at the Medical University of South Carolina. Rock Hill is the city in the northernmost South Carolina area, about 25 miles southwest of Charlotte, North Carolina. I have to get off of that because that wasn't holding well.
What did he tell you?
That's News Center Maine that's carrying that article, WCNC, if you need verification for that story. I want to recap how many people. 5 people are deceased by the hands of Mr. Adams. A very strange and bizarre situation of people being killed. Why, I do not know. It's just interesting that a 70-year-old man who's a doctor, 69-year-old wife, 9-year-old girl, 5-year-old boy, 38-year-old caretaker who worked for the house, I guess, worked for the home. He was shot outside, and a 6th person was hospitalized. It's a lot of people. Next set of information is by CBSNews.com. Thanks for joining me. Thank you all for joining me. Former NFL player kills 5 people, then himself. South Carolina. As I already told you all, Mr. Adams is believed to be the killer. Killed 5 people, including a doctor and his grandchildren, South Carolina on Wednesday, prompting an hours-long search for him. And it is believed that he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They have not determined a motive as of yet. I'm just skimming through. 70-year-old Dr. Robert Leslie, 69-year-old Barbara Leslie, husband and wife, were pronounced dead at the scene in Rock Hill, along with the grandchildren 8 and 9 and Noah Leslie 5.
Now linked to this mass shooting in South Carolina.
Sorry about that. So we're talking about a grandfather, grandmother, and 2 grandchildren, 9-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. Also, James Lewis, 38, from Gaston, who had been working at the home, found dead outside. Just recapping what was already written. He was 38 years old. Most of you probably know Adams was a black male, former NFL player, and the doctor that he killed was white. I'm assuming the wife is Caucasian. If I find out she is not, I'll gladly give you that said information. Okay, Tulsa said evidence left at the scene of the shooting led them to the gunman. He said they went to his parents' home, evacuated them, and then tried to talk the gunman out of the house. Eventually, they found him dead in a bedroom. Lord have mercy. We did not hear any gunshots, Tolson said. We did try to negotiate and get him out of the room that he was in. Tolson said a .45 caliber and a 9mm weapon were used in Wednesday's shooting. The sheriff said authorities don't have any indication the weapons were obtained illegally. In Washington, President Biden mentioned the shooting as he unveiled his first attempts to curb gun violence during a White House ceremony. Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment, Mr. Biden said. The 32-year-old gunman, played, as I stated earlier, in 78 NFL games over 5 seasons for 6 teams. He is from the state of South Carolina. He joined the 49ers in 2010 as a 7th-round draft pick. The teams he played for: New England, Seattle, Oakland, New York Jets, and he finished his career off at Atlanta Falcons in 2015. As I also stated, he suffered an ankle injury in 2010 that required several screws inserted in his leg, and he never played for the 49ers again. Okay, got released for the 2011 season and began a new season with New England. He then moved to the Raiders, where he had 2 concussions in a 3-game period in 2012. Very interesting information there. Whether the gunman suffered long-lasting injuries from his concussions as a player wasn't immediately clear. The gunman would not have been eligible for testing as part of a broad settlement between the league and its former players over such injuries because he hadn't retired by 2014. The gunman's father told a Charlotte television station that he blamed football for problems that may have led to his son to commit Wednesday's violence. I can say he's a good kid. He was a good kid. I think the football messed him up, Alonzo Adams told WCNC-TV. He didn't talk much and he didn't bother nobody. Deputies were called around 4:45 p.m. Wednesday to the Leslie's home, which is not visible from the road. They evacuated the neighbors as they spent hours searching for a suspect with police dogs. Allison Hope, who lives across the gunman's parents' modest 1-story brick home about a mile from the Leslie, said police allowed her to return home around 9 p.m. Wednesday. Moments later, a vehicle pulled into the Adams driveway and law enforcement quickly surrounded the property. She said they spent hours negotiating with the gunman, using a loudspeaker and sending in a robot to scan the house. She said authorities repeatedly asked the gunman to come out and promised to get his disabled mother out safely before the gunman shot himself. This is something I can't grasp yet. I can't put it all together, and I'm trying to, and I witnessed it, Hope said. I feel bad for him because if it was mental or something going on in his life or whatever, he needed help. That's the sad part. The gunman often isolated himself even as a player. His agent, Scott Casterline, told AP. Casterline said he spoke regularly with the gunman's father, who left him a voicemail Wednesday morning. He was part of my family. I loved him. He's a great kid, great guy. This is so unlike him. He had to not be in his right mind, obviously, Casterline said. All of us who knew Phillip are shaking our heads. He struggled away from the gang. I tried to get him to come to Texas. I was going to find him a job, but he wouldn't leave South Carolina because he had a son. He was a good father. Seeing Phillip shoot 2 kids is not him. I can't fathom it. It's devastating for the victims and the families, Casterline said. Former Cowboys cornerback Kevin Smith, who trained the gunman leading up to the 2010 draft, and after he entered the league, said he was a hard worker. He and Casterline both said the gunman had opened a shop selling smoothies and juice before COVID-19 hit, and emphasized he didn't drink or do drugs. He didn't drink not one bit of alcohol, Smith said. He was a bit of a neat freak. In his house, everything was precisely placed. Leslie had worked for decades as an emergency room doctor in Rock Hill, board certified in both emergency medicine and occupational medicine, and serving as emergency department medical director for nearly 15 years at Rock Hill General Hospital, according to the website. His website. He founded 2 urgent care centers in the area and wrote a weekly medical column, as I stated to you all earlier, up for the Charlotte Observer. He also wrote a book, Angels in the ER. And this is just information of inspiring true stories pertaining to his time in the emergency department. And it's just recapping what he said in the book. A biography page said he and his wife raised 4 children and that Leslie received his degree at the Medical University of South Carolina. Rock Hill is a city in northernmost South Carolina, about 25 miles southwest of Charlotte, North Carolina. If you need verification for this story, please log on to cbsnews.com. I brought you 2 sources of information. So if you need verification, feel free to go back in the replay to get the said information. Naturally, this is a developing story, and I will bring you any type of information that will bring some type of clarity to why this young man would take the life of a doctor and his family, 2 other outside people, and then turn the gun on himself. And he is the former NFL player. Oh, mercy. This was very baffling. Phillip Adams, a very young guy. Thank you all for joining me. I will drop the link here in just a second so you can give your commentary. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Yes, if you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129. All super chats are welcome during the live. Please be respectful of the host, the mods in the chat. Refrain from using profanity in the chat or on the panel. You will be blocked. Thank you so much. Just a second. Thank you, Andrea. God bless you, sweetheart. Just wait. Hold on one second. I'm checking something, and I will drop the link here in just a second, you guys. Thanks for joining me. One second. Hold on one second, you guys. All right, you guys. We're going to get this party crunk. I'm going to leave the link so you all can give your commentary. Sorry about that. Thanks for joining me. So kind of you all to come on and listen to the Queen. I would like to hear your thoughts. Please be respectful of your commentary because, as I state, we do not know why this incident took place. The motive behind it is heinous nonetheless, but I decided to talk about it because, one, there have been too many incidents lately since the first of the year, and I thought it was best that I discuss this topic because it seems like it's day for day that there are shootings occurring here in the U.S. So it's like there's no way you can ignore it. And actually, you don't want to dwell on this every day because you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why. But it needs to be discussed because it's out of control. I don't know what's going on, but it's day for day. And as one of you dropped in the chat that there had been, another shooting here in the States as of today. And we will pray for those injured and or killed and the victims' families. Amen. Hold on one second, please. So I'm writing this down right. Mercy. These letters are so small, sometimes you can't see them good. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't read my own writing. Hold on one second. QT. Okay. I can't even see what I'm doing. See? Yes, prayers up for Texas as well. Yes, amen. And I do believe in my state that it was just passed. Hold on before I misspeak. I'm going to Google something that I saw in a notification pertaining to a law that may have just been passed. I want to look this up first. Okay, hold on a minute. Yes, that's what someone dropped in the chat, Air Force One. I was like, oh, Lord, when does it stop? I got a notification here about this permit, gun carrying permit, and I want to show you all. Yes, here it is right here. I erased it. And this is local news. I'll bring your source. WVLT 8, Knoxville News. Just uploaded this story today. It says Governor Lee signs permitless carry into law. Tennessee is now the 32nd permitless carry state. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signed legislation into law Thursday that would now allow any Tennessean 21 and older to carry a handgun without a permit.
$15 billion of furniture in stock right now.
Sorry about that. Trying to get that down. Sorry. I signed constitutional carry today because it shouldn't be hard for law-abiding Tennesseans to exercise their number 2A rights. Thank you, members of the General Assembly and at NRA for helping get this done, said Governor Lee in a tweet Thursday. So he's basically saying 21 and older can carry without a permit, but then has the nerve in the same breath say law-abiding citizens. So I'm trying to understand how is this working with if you have a criminal record, because it's not. I don't understand. Let me see if they're going to say more about criminal background. It says the legislation states an individual 21 years old to carry a handgun unless they are 18 and honorably discharged or retired from the armed forces. Members of the National Guard and people on active duty would also be permitted to carry guns without permits. The bill pushed by Governor Bill Lee also received opposition from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Tennessee Sheriff's Association. Wow. Tennessee, as I stated, is now the 32nd permitless carry state. So if you don't need a permit, then you wouldn't have a need for a background check. I don't know. I'm very confused. Yeah, that's backwards because you're contradicting yourself to say law-abiding citizens. Well, if you don't need a permit, then that means no one ran your name in order for you to get the gun because you didn't need a permit. So there'll be no need for anyone selling you the weapon to check to see if you have a background. So that means you can go buy a gun and not what? Get a background check? See, this is where I'm confused. I'll bring you more information on that. I'll probably do a video on that because this, oh God, this is buffoonery now because I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, Lordy. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary pertaining to Mr. Adams gunning down the doctor and his family in the said home. I'm assuming it's the home. Other people were shot as well. Children were murdered. This is a very baffling case. Golly, man, this is insane. I just don't know what to say. Thanks for your patience while I gathered my information and brought you all the stats pertaining to the cities in America that have had mass shootings since the 1st of January, 2021. Hit the link if you'd like to give your commentary. Thank you so very much for joining me. As I state, a motive has not been revealed why Mr. Adams shot the doctor and the family and the other participants, people, visitors, company, however you like to word it. I don't know if the concussions have had an effect on him. They have said that the concussions have been linked to some very erratic behavior from men in football, men who play football, very violent behavior. I do believe has been linked to the concussions, memory loss as they got older. It's very interesting. It's backwards if you go carry a gun and don't get a background check. That's what's backwards. You're basically saying you don't need to get a background check. You're just gonna get, if you don't need a permit, then there'd be no need to check your background. But you can't talk about criminals carrying guns if you'll let somebody just go buy a gun and they don't get a background check. Lord have mercy. Yes, right. Very good point, not out. The laws are too lax. Then, right, people act like they're shocked because somebody had a gun. Everybody's got an excuse. Well, he did, she did this, and it's always 1,001 excuses. The point is you don't know people. I'll say this 1,000 times. Just like being on this box, you don't know people. You don't know anybody. People say anything, do anything. They may mean it, they may not. They may apologize, they may not. It's just the way the world is. People are people. If anyone has a gun in their home or their car, they're going to jail 10 years, no ifs, buts, or nothing. And where is this, Ruby Ray? You must use a city, state, or country when you're talking, because people won't know where you're speaking of. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to this story of Mr. Adams killing these people. And what in God's name was going on with him to take the lives of this doctor and his family. Yes, thank you for joining us tonight. Right, that's true, Melissa. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to get it, whether it's drugs or a gun. Well, we see that. That's right. And if the gun won't work, you pick up whatever you can find, a knife, a bat, or your God Almighty fist. They tend to work quite well. Many hands have been laid on a man and a woman and knocked them out. They surely do work. They got enough punch and pull in them. But this is the sad information. And as I just stated, the state of Tennessee, the governor has passed a law where you can carry a gun without a permit. Lord have mercy. Because we'll all be dead here shortly. Well, she's saying there's not many shootings in the UK. No excuses for guns here. Hello, Nene, how you doing? Okay. Ohio just passed Stand Your Ground. And I want to say something. I didn't want to say anything tonight, but I'm going to say this to all of you listening and viewing, and you can kindly pass it on to whomever you like, your mammy, your daddy. I don't really give a damn. This is my channel. I say what I want on my channel. If I speak on something in a storyline, misspoke, I have no problem with correcting anything. But as most of the commentary I bring is my own commentary, unless it's a source from a news agent. And whoever I let come up on the panel speak is my prerogative. Because a lot of you have come up and spoken, and I may not have agreed with some of the things you said, even if you were joking, playing around, goofing off, or dead serious. Same thing in the chat. A lot of you say things I don't agree with. Some of the other chat members may not agree with it. But the point is, you said it, and you're still commenting. So that should tell you something about who I am. And I have the right to tell anybody not to curse, because this is my channel, and I'm the one who takes the strike, not you. It's not in your name. It's not in your account. And due to the fact that some of you have so many damn usernames and aliases, how do we even know who the hell we're talking to? How about that? How about that? So you don't have to like what someone has said on the panel or in the chat, because I hear stuff and see stuff in this chat all the time I don't agree with, and I still let you speak anyway. And I always say, if you don't like the content of a person's video, then log out. But you don't have to stay on the channel going on and on, the comment page, community posts, and or a person's email and or their own IG. Some of you have taken advantage of being in people's private boxes with your commentary. Hell, why not just tell everybody how you feel? You don't have to be in the IG account to tell somebody something. See, because when you had the opportunity, when you was in the chat, you should have said something then. Or when you was on the panel, using a different name or username, you should have gave your opinion then about what you didn't like, about what somebody said on Everyday Shenanigans. You don't have to go to another channel or your own channel. Keep it real. Because see, that's the difference between you and I. I'm the same all the time. I don't have to go nowhere else and speak on something. That's the purpose of me having my own channel. I say what I want here. And a lot of you have said things, as I've said, on the channel as guests that I may not have agreed with, but I let you speak. I let you speak. Because that's the whole purpose of saying we can agree to disagree. And I see things on channels, social media, TV I don't agree with, but I don't go lose my mind because somebody said something I don't like. So for a reminder to any of you, and I'm going to say this once and I won't say it again. Don't try to contact me to tell me anything. Not now, not never. Thank you, Night Owl. Okay, that's fine. But the point I keep trying to make, and I don't like to keep talking about these same subject matters, is that I don't know any of you. You don't know me. But don't come in my chat pretending to be somebody that you're not. Like I told you all, with all the craziness that was going on with the other case, is the reason why I've recommended, you all use different usernames. But as I've told you before, you can't use a different username in the chat and then jump up on the panel with a different name, because I'm not going to know who you are. That's first and foremost. I've said that already. I shouldn't have to keep saying that again. And then I don't care for you coming in, being facetious, jumping on the panel, and then jump off and then start talking about some more crazy nonsense somewhere else on your channel, somebody else's channel, about how you came over here talking and rattling. But you didn't tell nobody none of that when you was here, because you didn't use the same name You get my drift. But yet you don't like drama. I can't tell. We're living in dire times. There just seems to be a lot of sick people. And I see it every day. And obviously this man was not well. Or whatever drove him to shoot these people. It was cruel. Very cruel. Hopefully they can shed some light. Somebody, his family, maybe they can find some journals or somebody he spoke to privately that can tell the truth about what was going on with him, what his feelings were leading up to these deadly shootings. It's just terrible. Maybe he felt some type of way. Well, it's always some drama. And usually it's the ones who cry and moan they don't like drama that be in it. As I said, a bone carrier, bone collector, it's all the same. Never seen people that love inboxes. Dancing Queen, what are you talking about? Dancing Queen, what are you talking about? No, Ruby Ray, many people don't respect the Queen. That's not true. That's not true at all. You see, what you all don't seem to understand is I watch a lot of things that go on in here. And y'all don't think I be watching this shit you be saying in here, talking and stuff, but I watch everything you saying in the chat. And a lot of you are not who you say you are, not just with a name, but you're disingenuous. And you think I don't know and won't find out. You just met another Dawn on here. What are you saying? The sister said he fell off last 18 months and had disconnected himself from the family at one point. He didn't care about his hygiene or anything. I'm not sure, Queen. Oh, that sounds terrible. Well, his father said he was quiet, had been quiet. And usually that's a sign, if a person is, let's just say if a person is talkative, I'm not saying he was talkative, but if a person was talkative and then they stop talking, stop answering phone calls, stop answering the door, it's one telltale sign. Asked her if she got teased growing up for being Dawn the dish soap. Oh, I didn't get it, Dawn. I'm sorry, Dancing Queen. That went right over my head. I myself have the utmost respect for you. You are a good, honest person. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I saw that. He moved back home and didn't speak much at all. I was wondering about that, why he moved back home. I read that in that article. I was curious to why he moved back. What was going on for him to move back home? I wonder if he's having some type of financial problems. Very interesting. Hit the link. Dancing Queen, I didn't know what you was talking about. I get a little weary. Not weary, but I get leery when I see y'all saying stuff and I don't understand what you're saying because so much goes on. Okay, Gypsy. You was drunk. Well, now you honest to tell that. Lord have mercy. Y'all be doing the most. Well, we're going to pray for these people who have lost their lives. Not pray for them, but you understand what I mean. Pray for the family. This has to be so terrible for those who lost their loved ones and the parents of this guy trying to figure out why their son would murder these people. I mean, I can't imagine walking around with that. That's a hell of a burden to carry around, even though you didn't do it, but it's just terrible. Air Force One, where are you at? You're awfully quiet tonight. This is a somber night on this live, I tell you. Oh, you damn right, Melissa. I'm going to have my senses heightened. They stay heightened. That's why I told you I don't like reading text messages, because you can misconstrue things. You don't know what a person means. If they're being funny, that you're making a joke, they're being serious. You just don't know. Yes. Would you like to give your commentary, Air Force One, since nobody else is commenting? I'm about to cut the live short, so if you'd like to say something, I'll check on out of here. Yes, thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you all so much. You've put a queen at an all-new high. I want to thank you for all of the subscribers, old subscribers and new subscribers. Thank you so much. We now have Air Force One joining us. Thank you. Coming in for a landing. Turn your device on, Mr. Air Force One. You don't have it turned on, dear. Honey, I didn't know what you was talking about, Dancing Queen. I had no idea.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, your mic was off, I think.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. Hi, Queen. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Yeah, I just finished reading about this football player, man. You know.
Turn. You got your devices up. Kind of an echo.
Yeah, I got it up.
You got to turn the other stuff down. Is what I'm saying, honey.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me get back in the. Let me get back in the.
Only when Air Force now.
Don't start. Okay. How about?
Well, I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. How about now?
Go ahead, just talk.
Okay.
We'll pray about it.
All right. I don't know. The people. I don't know whether it's the water. I don't know whether it's the COVID. Yeah, water. I don't know whether I don't know what it's maybe something in the air.
Yeah.
You
COVID,
know,
COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, all these mass shootings are just.
But they're back to back. That's the scary part.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know, you may hear of a mass shooting maybe once every 6 months or once every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but not back to back to back to back. This
there's a memo. Like there's a memo being spread around.
Maybe. Who knows?
You know, like you get your AARP mail. It's like,
hey, I'm telling you.
You know, hey, open this. This is right for you, and you open it. You know, like a chain letter. Hey.
Yeah, it might be a little small. It may be a little small insert in there somewhere.
Yeah. But what's the gist to it though? What's the fallout or the winning prize? The Cracker Jack box.
I don't know. Maybe a fake diamond ring or something.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
You know, a zirconian. Is that you?
Yeah, that was something I had turned on my phone. It had some volume high. I'm sorry about that. Sorry.
Okay.
I
But
apologize.
I was reading about concussions, and what I'm reading is the question is it possible to have personality changes after a concussion?
Oh,
This
I'm
guy,
sure.
yeah, this guy had 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it says here that the personality changes after a brain injury or concussion is sadness, social struggles, and more. And then one says a head injury or concussion can also cause sudden personality change. Any head injury should be taken seriously because damage might not be evident on the
Right.
on the surface.
Right.
It is it is also possible that the extent of the head injury may be evident without examination until the damage has
Right.
become severe.
Okay. I got you.
Well,
Well, that's probably like anything. A lot of things that go on we don't see at first,
yeah,
don't notice, especially with mental illness.
yes,
Starts as like a slow burn,
yeah,
a very slow burn.
and I mean, if he was a kind of a neat freak, and which is kind of good and bad at the same time.
Well,
Uh,
that's probably something that was just his persona,
yeah, 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 and then he's becoming a loner.
Right.
So if he's not getting the help that he needs to get, and if he's not taking the medication that he needs to take, or if the medication itself is messing with his brain, then who knows what type of personality change he was going through
Right.
at the time
What
that
was going on?
at the time that he committed this crime. Because in a sense, if he's going to do this, okay, do the adults, but why the children? Why? It doesn't make sense. But like I said, that personality change, those brain waves are not functioning like they should function. Some of them are skipping beats or whatever it's doing. It's not helping him. And he should have gone. He should have gone for a checkup, to find out what was going on. If he felt a certain type of way.
Right.
So that's all I have to say about him. Well, the state of Maryland, I know, has a very strict gun law, one of the strictest in the United States, matter of fact. Because if you commit a crime with a weapon and that is not licensed, you're going to get, I think it's 10 years. That's your first 10 years.
Okay.
A commission with doing using a firearm during the commission of a crime. That's your first 10 years right there. And then you're gonna stack on those other charges.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Maryland, because Maryland, you're gonna have to do some paperwork. You're gonna have to be seen by a doctor, make sure that your brain is functioning well. But most of these criminals, if they know that they cannot get a handgun because of a misdemeanor or a felony that they have committed, they're going to ask their girlfriend or a family member, hey, look, I saw this type of weapon. Here's a couple of dollars. Can you go get it for me? And if that person doesn't have anything in their background, they will be able to get that gun. And then there you go. The gun on the street, the gun is used used in the commission of a crime. Who's going to jail? The one who committed the crime, but who will you get the gun? My girlfriend, or my brother, or my sister, or relative. Then basically they're going to go down with you. Not unless you say, well, I stole the gun from them.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, it's just this world itself is demented. And some of these leaders that are supposed to be leaders don't have any more backbone in their back. They're starting to curve over, like you see the older generation. They look like when they're walking, they slouched over. That's how some of these politicians are with their backs, because they don't have enough backbone in order to stand up to what is right. They would rather, some, not all, and some of them love to get money underneath the table.
Yes.
And then you have the lobbyist who's trying to pay them underneath the table. So some of these politicians are not right. Some of them aren't. And then they had a change of laws here in the state of Maryland where in the city of Baltimore, some of the crimes that were felonies, the state's attorney has made them into misdemeanor crimes. I said, oh, no, she didn't. But yes, she did. I said, okay, the city is going to go down the tubes.
Right.
The city is going to go down the tubes. It's down there already. It's sinking more. I'll put it that way. It's
Right.
going to sink. It's going to sink more into the swell of the gutter. That's why. That's why I'm out. That's why I went out to some of my friends and relatives say, why you go all the way out to the bubble? I said, because I love this bubble. There's nothing coming in this bubble. Because the state police are not going to let anything happen out here in this bubble, because the majority of them live in this bubble.
Right.
So I know there's not going to be too much of anything out in this bubble. So I had to roll out and get into the bubble.
Right.
Because it's terrible. It's terrible. It's just madly terrible.
So what do you think's the problem going on right now?
Some people going to say Corona. Some people say I don't have no job. Some people going to say, well, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that anyway. So I'll just stay home. If I need some money, I'll go out and rob somebody. Or I'll go out and take somebody's car while their child is in the back sleeping. I'll go rob a bank. But I cannot agree that there aren't any jobs, because of the fact that everywhere I go in this state, there's always a poster in the window. Help wanted.
Yeah.
Even if it's McDonald's, it's a job.
Yeah.
You're going to get some kind of money. Even before all of this Corona stuff happened, you've had people that come out of college with PhDs, bachelors of science degrees, bachelors of art degrees, because some of these companies don't want to pay the money. So what some of them are doing are becoming managers of fast food chains.
Yeah, I said they've been doing that years ago,
Yeah.
Before we had any of these issues. Like around the time when the economy fell, 2006, 2007, I had seen a woman who was working for one of the local housing authorities. She ended up, I saw her working at McDonald's. I thought, wow, what's going on? That's when I knew times that were falling. Falling. Because it was like, why is this lady working at McDonald's? She could, if she has a professional job for an agency, a housing agency, why would she be taking a second job working at a McDonald's? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's hard. And there's some people, like let me see, Princess 76 says, she's a Grubhub driver. I mean, you can either rent a car, or if you have your own car, you can join Lyft, you can join Uber, you can Grubhub, Dash, Rabbit. There's a lot of places where you can go and just make your own hours.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people have done.
You know, because I did. Let me see. Back in 2015, 15 and 16, I drove for Uber, making good money. You know, because where I found out.
When did you last do it?
2015, 2016.
Oh, okay. What made you stop?
Huh? Oh,
What made you stop?
wear and tear on the car.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Wear and tear. Because see, I was going from Penn Station in the city out to the airport, out to BWI Airport, down to Dulles Airport, over to Ronald Reagan's. I was doing airports. Run. Every day, I got up at 6 o'clock, went down to Penn train station, started working down there. I said, okay, 12 noon, I'll go out to the airport. Went out to the airport because some people had to go from BWI to Dulles. Well, see, sometimes BWI flights don't go to Dulles. So you got to leave from Maryland to go over to DC.
Okay.
I said, okay, that's good with me. I'll take them over there. So I stayed over and then staying over in Virginia, taking rides down in DC near the hotels. I was making some, oh man, I was making some money. But the thing about it is that's that wear and tear on your car. Even though Uber gives you allows discounts to get your car repaired at certain shops. Give you discounts at different gas stations and things of that nature. You know, but even so, with those discounts, if you got a car, if your car and your your repair bill comes up to almost $876, you know, and you're only going to get 10% of that, you still got to come out your pocket, you know. So like I said, that wear and tear, I said that's it. That's it for me. It was good money. You know, it was good money. Now, when I get my new car, Lord willing, I'll go back to it. But I'm only going to do 3 days a week, 8 hours a day. But the thing about it is, I'm gonna stay out in my bubble and work. You know, instead of doing all that traveling like I did.
Okay.
You know, but this mass murder stuff is crazy. It is crazy. You know, now we got to compare. Well, not actually compare. Well, in a sense, yeah, we do compare how many deaths have been caused in a mass murder.
Right.
Compared to the COVID.
Right.
You know, it's stupid. You know, I don't know what's wrong with these people. These people are just, well, I tell you what, those who read the Bible, it's in there. It's in the book of Revelation. Everything that's happening now is in the book of Revelations. Those who read and those who believe, you will find it in the book of Revelations. You know, that's all I can say about it. You know, I just, you know, my prayers, my heart goes out to all these family members. Every evening before 12 o'clock, I pray and I ask the Lord, I said, Lord, comfort those who have lost a loved one in this very hour. Take your mighty hands and just surround them with your love. Wipe away their tears because you know in the morning they can feel the joy. You know, even though they will mourn, they will feel the joy. You know, so that's how I leave it at night.
Okay.
You know, that's how I leave it at night. You know, but it's a terrible situation, Queen. You know, it's really terrible.
Because there's no
Huh?
There's no rhyme or reason to this.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. There is no reason for all of this. It's just that, you know, I'm not going to say all of them are knuckleheads, but some of them just have a heart of coldness about themselves.
Yes.
They don't respect If they don't respect life, they don't respect themselves, and they don't respect others. And that's ball game. That's ball game. But if you have a sickness that needs to be cured in some type of way, then seek the help. Even if you don't think you need it, you do need it.
Right.
You know, so sometimes if a family member say something to you, or your close friend may say, well, hey, look, I know a good doctor, or I know a good person we can go and talk to. And go and talk with that person. Go and talk with that doctor. That doctor will help you. They will help you. You know, sometimes I had a friend of mine who was going through some changes in his life. What he did was he committed himself. And the only time that they would let him out, well, they let him out on a weekday because he had to work. But once he got off of work and on the weekends, he went back to that hospital and he stayed at that hospital until Monday when he was, able to go, when he was work, when he had to go to work, he went to work, left work, went back to the hospital because he knew he had an issue, and that's how he did it. That's how he did it. So right now, I mean, he remarried, he's got a nice family going on. He's doing well. Matter of fact, a couple years, about 2, 3 years ago, he retired from Delta Airlines as a flight attendant. Now he's going into this motivational speaker type thing about the situations that he had and what he's done. So it's you can get help if you want it. Because it's almost like being a junkie. Well, yeah, I do. I shoot up. Yeah, I smoke that weed. Yeah, I take that ecstasy. I take that acid and all that stuff. I don't need no help. I don't, nah, bruh. I don't need nothing, bruh. But then as time goes on and they go through a couple of overdoses, then they'll come to you and say, bruh, I was thinking about what you was telling me, bruh. You think you can help me out? Sure, I know a lot of places. I know a lot of places that can help you out. It's going to be a 12-step program that you're going to have to go through. It's going to be hard, but I know a place. I know 3 places that you can go to. 2 of them are in the city, and 1 of them are out on a farm, out over on the other side of Chesapeake Bay Bridge. And that's the one I think you should go to because you'll be away from everybody. Away from everybody.
Right.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. But if they come out and they go back into that same cycle, well, brother, I can't help you no more. I gave you the place you go to. You went there. You did the 12-step. You came back. Now look at you. You done gone right back out there with your old friends. I can't help you no more.
Right.
Unless I beat you across the head and drag you up to New York. They got some nice places up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Place called JCAP, I think it is. If it's still in existence.
Right.
They'll take you up there. But it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
Right.
But you got to do what they tell you to do.
Yes.
If they want you to take a toothbrush and clean the bathroom floor, you got to take a toothbrush and clean the bathroom floor.
Right.
Period. They're gonna give you a bucket of water and some soap, then the toothbrush.
You
go in there and you clean that floor.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that just don't want to tell people that they're sick, that they're feeling sick. Their mind's not well. You know what I'm saying? They just hold it in for whatever reason, hold it in or let it out. Either way, whether it's outburst or keeping it to themselves, but they need to find somebody to talk to try to work out whatever it is that's bothering them. The anger people have a lot of anger, for various reasons. I mean, you seen that just from being on this.
Yeah.
Those people just mad every day. To wake up mad, go to bed mad, dreaming mad, just angry all day. They can't find anything good to speak on or talk about or focus on.
They don't
There's
have any
a lot of
happiness. They don't have any
nastiness,
happiness in their life.
miserable and nasty, both wrapped in one. You know.
They have no happiness in their life.
Yeah.
They have nothing to stand upon.
Yes.
You know, they have no goals, or if they
Yeah.
did have goals, they they let them go.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
whatever.
you're right, and
You know, it's easy to get down. It's easy to get down. You know, it's easy to get down. Doesn't take very much.
it's hard to get back up.
Because you know, like I said, everything's. People are angry for different reasons. People are sad for different reasons. People are depressed for different reasons. And what make one person snap back and jump up right, it won't work for the next person. Maybe they dwell on things. You know, maybe they're negative. Maybe I don't know, they're just ho hum about things. You know, and maybe they've even actually tried to have a better outlook or stay positive, but maybe things just don't happen in their favor often, so they don't have a positive outlook, because that can happen when you don't have a lot of good luck. You can get down very easily, and it's hard to snap back, and then you dwell on things and you become, as they say, negative, a complainer. Like I always tell people, what you complain about, I may not complain about. But you know, we do that sometimes. We tell people, oh, I wouldn't complain about that. But then one day you'll look at them and you'll say the same thing. Well, I wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah.
You feel me?
My younger brother had this. Yeah, my younger brother had this saying about, when he'd be talking to people who felt down and out or whatever. He's, especially like if they had like tennis shoes on or shoes that had strings in them. He said, look down at your feet. He said, you see your shoestring is untied, right? They say, yeah. He said, well, hey, here's what you do. You bend down. You tie your shoes. You stand up erect. You look straight ahead and you keep it moving.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
So what's the symbolism of the tying the shoes?
The problems that you're going through.
Okay.
The unloose strings was the problem that you're going through. But if you take those strings and tie those strings up nice and neat and make sure that it's not too tight on your foot or your feet, you can stand straight back up.
What? And and try to get on a good foot.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
I learned back in 1984, 85. Keep looking forward, because that's where you want to go. If you come to the fork in the road, look to your right, look to your left, but you keep on going forward. Because you don't know what the right is going to bring you. You don't know what the left is going to bring you. But you know what's at the end of the road going straight. It's like having an ox and you planting your field. I think I may have said this before. And you planting your field. You done laid your seeds now. Now you need that ox to go down there and make sure those seeds are planted. So you behind your ox, you got your straps, just down in the country now, you got your straps on, and you got your plow, and you got your ox in front of you, right? Okay. So you want to take that ox and make sure he goes straight down that one path. But now you're going to turn your head around to find out if that ox going straight. Then all of a sudden, once you turn your head around, you're going to either pull that ox to the left or you're going to pull that ox to the right. Okay. What you got to do now is get that ox back in that straight line. So your field can be planted, your harvest can be planted straight and narrow. So now you got all your corn, you got all your vegetables, and they're harvesting very nicely. Because why? You kept looking forward. You kept looking forward. That's how I feel about life. If you put yourself, it's kind of like having blinders on a horse. because you want to win that race,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to stand up and make sure that the man upstairs saw you run that race for the purpose that he has you to run that race. Because if you get off course, he's gonna smack you a couple of times and put you back on it.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look straight, if you got that goal that you're gonna go to school and get those grades, even though the studying may be hard, even though the exams and that final test may be hard, but you studied long enough. You understood what the course was.
Right.
You know, all the teacher wants to know is, did you understand the course? And if you understood that course, you won't have no problems of getting that grade, that A or that B. You won't have any problems of getting on the dean list. You won't have any problems of getting into maybe not that Ivy League school, but you may not have no problems getting down to Morehouse. You may not have no problems getting over to Yale. Okay, yeah. You may not have a problem getting over to Morgan State College. Why? Because you done ran your course through not only elementary school and high school, but I mean elementary and middle school, but you ran your course in high school in order to get to run your course and meet your goal in college. And then once you finish college, you not only yourself can be proud of yourself. Now listen to that. Not only yourself can be proud of yourself, but your family is going to be proud of you. Your children, if you have children at that time, will be proud of you. And you can look up to the heavens and say, Grandma, Grandpa, this was for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But you got to be proud of yourself first and foremost. Look out for you. Never let anybody take you from your goal. Even if you got kids, take care of those kids. Love those kids.
Mm-hmm.
But even with those kids, you still can meet your goal.
Mm-hmm.
You may fall off a little bit. You may say, well, I'm not going to go this semester. Okay, but make plan to go to next semester. You know, finish your course. 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 If there's a woman that's trying to make you not finish, if there's a man that's trying to make you not finish, leave him. Leave her and say, hey, look, I've got my goal to do. I've got a course to take. I need to be proud of myself first and foremost. If you want to stick with me, all well and fine. If not, then I'll say you will not go across the stage, bruh or sis. You know? But I'm sorry I got off course a little bit. I apologize.
You are fine. You are fine.
I apologize. But sometimes these things, they get the inner me. Mm-hmm. Not just the outer me. These situations get the inner me. And sometimes I kind of like fault my mother for this because she's a very emotional person. Mm-hmm. You know, and I get that from her. You know. And the thing about it is, if my tears are not coming out of my eyes, my tears are flowing from my heart. And when you have a person whose tears flow from the heart, and they can give you a word or two of positiveness, if they can give you a word or two of progression, if they can give you a word or two of respect, then you've done something for that person. You know, I may say to you, Queen, I say, you may not like what I say, or you may not be able to take the criticism, but it's not to hurt nor harm you. It's to help build you. It's to help build your inner peace, your inner soul, your inner mind. your inner heart. It's helped to build you as a person. So as you walk the steps of progression, then you said, you know what? That daggone Air Force make me sick. But you know what? I heard what he said, but he was right. So sometimes you can give a person a word. They can take it or leave it. But you give them that one word that will stick to their brain, they're going to remember that one single word. Even if you say, hey, look, just give me a smile. Just give me a smile. And if you tell that person that and they crack a little smile, they're going to remember that one word, smile. They're going to think about it, whether they're on a bus or driving, at work, in school, at church. They're going to think that you told them about smiling.
Right.
And they're going to see somebody else in a bad situation, maybe worse than yours. And they're going to say, hey, everything going to be hey, do me a favor, just smile for me. And that's going to carry on and on and on and on and on. Just that one single word.
Right.
I walk past people sometimes, they don't even want to, I always speak. They don't want to speak, But I still say, well, you know what? You have
that's right. When you know it's really bad when you can't even speak to a person.
Yeah. But you know what I say to them? Have a blessed day.
Oh, right.
Have a blessed day.
Right. Amen.
So, Queen, again, I apologize for getting off the subject, but this world is a mess. It is a mess, and sometimes I think what was that city that Daniel who was it? Was it Daniel? No, it wasn't Daniel. Who had to tear down the walls of Jericho? I can't remember his name. He was a king. I can't remember his name. But he had to tear down the walls of Jericho, and somebody's got to tear down this world and rebuild it.
Okay.
Somebody has to turn down this world and rebuild it. And your leaders are not going to do it because they money hungry. They are money hungry. So, like I said, that young man needed some help. He needed help. He refused, I think, to himself to get that help. But if he would have went on and got that help, even if his father said, well, look, come on, son, we're going to take a drive. What's wrong with you? What's going on in your life? I tell you what, let's go see such and such. Maybe, just maybe, he could have had that help. And these people, these grandparents and their grandchildren and the others that have lost their lives or got injured would not have died. Would not have to die. And some of these other people that's going out here mass murdering everybody and stuff, they're just warped. Some of them, there's nothing wrong with their mind because they know right from wrong. They just in a place where they just want to hurt somebody. And they don't care who it is. They don't care whether it's a family member or a friend or a stranger. They just don't care. Because their mind has gotten so warped. Again, maybe it's from the air. Maybe it's from the COVID. Maybe it's from the water. Maybe it's from a piece of bread that they ate that was molded. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Right.
Oh, Nene was Joshua. Thank you, Nene. It was Joshua. God told Joshua, go tear those walls down. Go tear down Jericho's wall.
Yes.
Go down Jericho's wall. You know, that's what we need. We need leadership that will tear down the wall and try to rebuild. It may take years. We may not even see it. You know, the little ones are growing up. They may be the ones that need to tear down the wall. That generation may need to tear down the wall. All of us in this chat room and on this platform may not even be alive to see the walls come down. But it has to. It has to.
Right.
These walls got to come down, Queen. They do. They have to come down.
Well, that's what people can help. Is that your final word for the evening?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I thank you everyone for speaking up and giving me your commentary, and I pray for these victims, families, the community. I feel really bad for these people. I don't know what happened, and I don't even want to think that this doctor did anything to warrant this type of maliciousness, because this was bad. Because even if we say, hey, something transpired between these two that was not right, I don't know, something was said out the way, still was no reason to go this far or take the lives of the family and other people. So I just hope that whoever's watching the story realizes that is not the way to handle your anger, because we all can become very angry at certain times, certain situations. But we do have to tell ourselves, if I go this far, I may not be able to come back. And it can be something as simple as some words. Words can lead to a push, a shove, a punch. And we know this because we're human. And something terrible happened with this man and his mindset for him to even think of getting a weapon and executing this man, and then executing his family, and then executing others who were around him. I'm assuming something was terribly, terribly wrong with Mr. Adams. What it was, I have no idea. And it saddens me because he had to be really broke inside. He was broke. He was a broken man to go this far. And like I said, I know people can become angry over all types of things, but when it's to the point where you decide you want to kill somebody, that's when, yes, you need to seek help. You need to seek help. And I'm praying that whomever is feeling this way, that they want to harm others, homicidal thoughts, that they get some help. Because as I state, all it takes is one little thing that can lead to another, and you may not be able to come back from it. And he knew that. That's why he barricaded himself in that home, his parents' home. And then he took his own life. It's very sad. Very, very sad. Very tragic. And on that note, I'm going to check out of here. And I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank my mods. I want to thank Air Force One for joining me, giving his commentary. And I pray that you all are safe. And if you're not feeling well mentally, you're angry about something, or angry at someone's, things is not going in your favor, not in your way, please seek some mental help. Turn yourself into the hospital. It's okay to be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I can't do this right now. And just turn it over and ask God to guide you and get you the help that you need. Like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm praying I can bring you commentary tomorrow pertaining to Camille McKinney. That's something I'm working on tomorrow with someone. So I'm hoping I can bring you all that said information. But if not, I will do it at a later date. I'll try to put a community post up if I am able to go live about that said storyline. Because it's something I want to discuss anyway, because there hasn't been a trial yet due to COVID, of course. And there's someone I'd like to bring to the panel that wrote a piece about it. So I'm going to check myself out of here. But I'm going to try to find his name. This guy that wrote this piece. Hold on one second so you all can get this information. Brian Maddox wrote a piece about Camille McKinney, aka Cupcake. So it's a very interesting article. He commented on one of my older videos, so he left a comment, and I would like to discuss it if I can. That case, it's a little over a year old, but it's still relevant to our times and the way we're living, the mindset of people. We have some very sick people here on this earth. All the sickness are not the same, but we have some very ill people. And I'm going to try to bring that commentary tomorrow if I can, later today, rather. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.